Hey, what up, YouTube fam? So I just had a eventful day yesterday, and I was doing Uber Eats orders. For any of you out there who know, I love doing the gig work. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone in my area who slaps on really nice tips on my orders. I actually have regular customers that I kind of deliver to all the time, but I'm just here to give you guys a message real quick. All right. If you're not going to put a tip on your order from now on in my area, I'm not doing your order. And the reason why is because, well, I'm just going to put it simple. I had a terrible experience. All right. I had this lady last night who was incredibly rude to me when I got there. She worked for the Amazon Amazon delivery center. And when I got to her and I was trying to give her food, I asked her for a PIN, because Uber has this thing where some customers require a PIN, and then sometimes Uber requires a PIN, meaning Uber requires a PIN for some customers who typically have their orders go missing often. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. But I don't know exactly which one this was, but I think it was because I had to authorize the PIN. And the reason why I said that is because in my app, I get this thing that says, please verify the customer's identity. And I got that. And I was like, all right, I got to get the PIN from this lady. It was a no tipping order. And I was $2 for driving it as an add-on delivery, half a mile down the road. I was calling it quits after that for the night anyway. So I was like, screw it. What's an extra $2 for a half a mile? This is the only time I ever really take orders like this, by the way. And when I asked her, I was like, hey, well, can you give me the PIN, please? She was like, well, I don't need to give you the PIN. You need to give me the food. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry, but I have to make sure that you're the right person that I'm handing the food to, because I asked her what her name was. I'm not going to say it, but I asked her name, and she said, yeah, that's me. Well, sometimes, you shouldn't ask for the name. You should have them ask you or tell you, and then that will tell you right there. And then I probably would have been, but because I said it like that, I was like, all right, I need to make sure this is the right person, because it's Amazon. There's a lot of people here. She can know the person, and I just want to make sure it gets to the right customer. And I also want to make sure I get the PIN for it. Well, what did she do? She snapped. She bitched me out. She cussed at me and everything. And I'm like, okay, ma'am, I'm sorry. All right. It's just, I need to make sure that, I get the PIN to make sure that I just hand it to the right person. That's all I was trying to say. I was trying to be nice about it, and I was trying to be respectful. And eventually I handed her the food after explaining that to her, and she rolled her eyes, and then she cussed at me again, and she walked away. Well, you know what she did? She reported me after that. She reported me for not being the right delivery driver. Like, she thought that I was someone that, was in, and I don't know why she did that. I really don't. And I just want to tell, anyone that treats a delivery driver like that, you should not treat a delivery driver like that. That's not respectful. And it's pretty sad, because I actually worked at this Amazon place a couple of years back, and I worked there for more than a few months. And I actually was doing really good. I had almost a perfect driving score. I knew quite a few managers there. I knew a couple of the DSP owners there, So, I'm not going to say, I'm going to do whatever, but I don't understand it. And if anyone out there, who wants to comment about this or say anything, just be nice in the comments, okay? Because you gotta understand something, all right? I'm living in my Uber car right now, trying to survive, okay? This economy sucks right now for me. It sucks for the gig drivers. It's really tough. I did 15 trips yesterday, made $139, and I only made $57 on tips. And I got paid like the other $70, I think, from Uber. Okay, so if that gives you a perspective, and I was taking orders that had tips that day. It's just, sometimes my market doesn't really have the greatest tips, and sometimes I just have to grab what I can to make the money, because I am in an EV. which is nice. So, you know, I save a lot of money on gas and I don't have any maintenance costs, and it's a rental. So even if I do have maintenance costs, they take care of it, which is nice, but I'm still paying $300 a week to keep this car. And I've had two people in this area. I don't want to specify the area, but I've had two people in this area, and I'm staying away from this area now, that have reported me for two different things. The other one reported me for not delivering it because they ordered it in the middle of a rainstorm, and the rain's at like midnight, and I couldn't find the number or the address or anything. And I'm calling the lady. I waited like 20 minutes for this order, and the pizza was getting cold. So I was like, well, I have to drop it off where the pin is on the map. And I guess the pin was wrong. And she reported me for that, not having it. That one was probably on me. Maybe I should have contacted support and been like, look, I can't find the address. But I swear that was the right place. It might have been like a door or two down. I almost wonder if the lady woke up the next day, found the pizza, and was like, oh shoot, why did I report him for not delivering it when he sent it to my neighbor? But sometimes the pins are like that, like whatever. But this lady, though, this experience was a bad one. Like, I don't understand why this would happen. And, you know, this is why I'm not going to take any more no tipping orders. I'm sorry, guys. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. I know you can tip after. You know, I know people say, oh, I tip after, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. In my experience of over 10,000 deliveries with different rideshare companies, and I know I can't really prove that, but trust me, I have over 10,000 of them. I've been doing this for more than 4 years. In my experience, anyone who does not tip, only about, I'd say maybe 5% of the no tippers that I do actually tip. And I've done probably several hundred, and I'm not making that figure up. I never get a tip afterwards from no tippers, rarely ever. And sometimes it's like a cash tip. That seems a little bit more common now, but it still happens rarely ever. And I do no tipping orders all the time, or at least I used to, because they always give them to me as add-ons that are just like a few miles, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. It's driving me to an area that's really busy, so I could go to a busier area and pick up better orders over there. Like, there's various reasons why I would do it. But in my experience, the only time I've ever gotten a negative review from someone is when they don't tip. And I'm tired of getting negative reviews, and I'm not going to get my Uber account deactivated from a dishonest customer, because the people that don't tip are usually your Karens, and usually your people that don't care about you, and they obviously don't care about you because they don't know how much money you make when you do it, or they do and they just don't care. So yeah, anyways, much love, guys. I really appreciate you listening to this. Anyways, have a great day.